Alright guys, day 4 in Savannah. This is our first stop, a little antique shop. Alright, done at the antique shop. We found a little Mediterranean deli.
Because the guy who took it, he was a friend. Well, no, he was a friend, so my grandfather trusted him with the money.
I don't think he's a friend.
Well, not anymore.
I think he's a foe.
Getting some euros.
Lamb euros.
Lamb euros, nice couch to sit on.
My grandfather allowed him to.
Alrighty guys, back in the car. Got our lamb euros. Some french fries. How they taste?
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Very well seasoned. Trolley tour time.
Forrest Gump had his box of chocolates. Let me tell you, you never know what you're going to get in a place like that. So right over here, you have 6-pence pub, so chocolate's not your thing. A few months pass. He goes to the Inquisitors and says, oh, it's a beautiful day outside. It'd be great for a boat ride, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, they did not find their footing in England. They were still being ostracized for being Jewish. So when they found out Savannah didn't allow Catholics, they thought, that's exactly where we'll go. And luckily to be sentenced to jail right here where the CBS is now. And if you were sentenced to hang, you would be hanged right here in Wright Square. Which was very inconvenient that this all happened on one square because you would be buried right over there where those gift shops are today. You folks are looking at Georgia's oldest cemetery. Now, though he did not remove any of those bodies, and they're still there to this very day, they even have a plaque to commemorate. Find it normally because it's tucked away. In fact, there's one. It's a very mysterious looking alleyway. And it is an oddity and true crime museum and record store. So if you're into records, you can go there for that. It's got a lot of really cool stuff in there. It's got crazy taxidermy, like they have the littlest circus performers, which were newborn kittens that they, put in little circus outfits. There's one trapeze artist. They have another circus fair. But on the second floor, they have an art gallery completely comprised of art made by serial killers. You see that creepy hand that points.
Alright, we got done at the trolley tour. Now we're heading back to the antique shop that we were at yesterday because they said they were going to get some more magazines and stuff in. Go check that out. Then either a bookstore after that or ice cream. We'll find out if I don't trip and die. What's up? Alright, we just got done at the bookstore. Now we are on our way to McDonald's to get our first caffeinated beverage of the day. And then just hang out until dinner reservations at 8 at the Pirate House.
Maybe do some more shopping.
Yeah, probably do some more shopping.
Cheers, my sec. Możesz kiedyś co?
Alright guys, so we just got done back down at the riverfront. Now we are walking to the Pirate's House restaurant. Alright, so we just finished eating dinner at the Pirate House, and we got lucky and got sat in. I forgot what it was called.
The Herb House.
The Herb House. So we got sat in the oldest part, the first part of the structure that was built in 1734 that housed the gardener for this old farm. And now we're gonna go do some ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting. Okay, so basically the pirates thing turned into like a tavern for all the sailors, and you'd be like working your job, go get a beer at the tavern, and then some big old buff guy would come up and offer you a beer, and you'd say yes, of course. You'd get your beer, and it was drugged, so you were roofied. They threw you into this secret chamber and then took you through the like back tunnels of this pirate house, put you on a pirate ship, and then your only options were either become a pirate or walk the plank. So there's a lot of like sailors that haunt this place now.
So right in this window, we were sat right inside here. This is the oldest part of it. Another well right here.
Alrighty, so this says the Colonial Park Cemetery was established in 1750 and became the capital of what was the British Province of Georgia. It was the last of the 13 colonies. Years later, the cemetery expanded 3 times. By 1789, it was 6 acres. Right now, I don't know, it's like a square mile. It is very small. So we are definitely standing on graves right now. Many of these graves have historical markers. There's lots of like Declaration of Independence people and just famous other people buried at this cemetery. They also have a lot of yellow fever victims, violence victims, and Civil War soldiers are buried in here. So there are many different stories of sightings at the cemetery. The most famous story is Rene Rondelier. You can see him walking through the graves. Many people even see him hanging from a tree, which is at the back of the cemetery. We've been trying to find the back of the cemetery, but can't figure out what it is. So we've not seen him. But he is seen to be 7 feet tall. It says that he was caught after just murdering 2 young girls on the way to the cemetery. They called for a mob and caught him. When he was caught, he was hung in the nearby square. Not long after his death, you would see a shadowy figure walking the grounds. It said that the cemetery is the best place for him to play. This is also a sign of Savannah voodoo. The cemetery used to not close at night, so when you would come back in the morning, there would be graves dug up and their bones would be missing, and obviously now those people are haunting the graves. Finally, there's a dueling park, and it is where dueling had become legal and they were doing it there, and it's basically just a mass grave for yellow fever people, and lots of people just died here. Okay, so we're at the Sorrell Weed House. This is the house of Francis Sorrell. He was married to Lucinda Moxley. They were West Indian plantation owners, so they were happily married, and then the husband began having an affair with one of his slaves named Molly. Francis gave Molly her own room so she could have an affair privately. When the wife found out about it, the wife committed suicide by jumping off the second floor balcony, landed headfirst, and opening her skull on the concrete courtyard. The slave, Molly, was stricken by guilt, but being a slave, she was held liable for the affair and the subsequent death. She was found hanging by a noose in an apparent suicide inside this house. So, it's known that the wife and the mistress now haunt this house. Okay, so we're now at the Madison Square. This is a battlefield during the American Revolutionary War. Most famous battle here was the Siege of Savannah. The American and French forces attempted to push the British out of Savannah, who had taken the city just 1 year earlier. The army was both unmanned and outgunned, bodies piled up fast. They dug a trench to bury the dead. Hundreds of soldiers were dead within a few weeks. Dead and injured could not be differentiated. So they were thrown in the pit together and were buried alive. After the battle, these bodies were never exhumed, and the city continued to expand around the old battlefield. Hi guys, we're back from Buc-ee's. Got a little lunch. Austin got chopped brisket sandwich. I got the Texas cheesesteak burrito. We also got some beaver nuggets and hot sauce and 2 big old sodas.